The 11th Circuit has not been a fan of her previous rulings. Do you feel like this also opens up an opportunity, as some have said, for the special counsel to ask for a substitution of the judge in this case to replace her?
I wouldn't be surprised. Cannon's already been reversed twice by the 11th Circuit, which does lean conservative. I would expect them to reverse her again, either a 3-judge panel or for a petition for a rehearing en banc, which would be the entire 11th Circuit. There's really no precedent for what she's done. And even in the unlikely scenario where the 11th Circuit affirms her ruling, now we have a circuit split and the Supreme Court would have to step in, hear the case, because there are constitutional consequences for what she said. And ultimately, you can't have some circuits saying that the appointment of special counsel are unconstitutional, others that allow prosecutions to move forward.
You know, in this case, Trump was indicted on 40 federal felony charges for allegedly withholding national security documents, keeping them at his home in Mar-a-Lago, bringing them back to his private residence, and obstructing the investigation after that. If Judge Cannon's ruling were to be affirmed, which most observers feel that's not going to be the case, but if that were to happen, stranger things have been happening in the courts these days. What does this say for the future of presidential immunity? We've seen a lot of cases that are testing the limits of executive power and potentially abuse of power, that you're able to just take classified documents, allegedly in this case, and do sort of whatever you want without consequences.
Well, it's a huge issue, and they're two real separate issues, right? Presidential immunity. The Supreme Court gave a very broad definition of what constitutes an official act, in which would be subject to immunity, versus a personal one, which would allow for a criminal prosecution. But I think this is just an entirely separate issue altogether. We're talking about the appointment of a special counsel, which should be appointed in a case where the president or the attorney general may have a conflict of interest. Let's not forget, I mean, this is the Justice Department that's prosecuting Donald Trump, or the Justice Department that's prosecuting Hunter Biden. So if we're not going to allow for special counsel appointment in these types of cases, we're going to rely on local U.S. attorneys who are appointed by the president, confirmed by the Senate, and they may be aligned with the president, which may create a problem.
And also, this ruling does come after Clarence Thomas made a Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas made sort of an allusion to the fact that that the special counsel may be inappropriately appointed. Do you feel like Judge Cannon took a cue from that, and the timing of this in general?
I agree that Judge Cannon took a cue from Justice Thomas. This is a fringe argument. Not many folks would entertain it, but Justice Thomas, in one of his opinions, did say that the appointment of special counsel may be unconstitutional. I think Judge Cannon took that argument, ran with it. Certainly the defense did in their briefing and their arguments. And I think that's something that ultimately, if you poll legal scholars, if you poll judges, I don't think many would agree with this ruling. I'm currently teaching I'm currently helping run a program at my alma mater, Harvard Law School, and talking to professors here when the decision came out this morning, they were shocked. This is not a majority opinion. Whether you're talking about Judge Cannon or Justice Thomas, there's not going to be a lot of judges that agree with it.